is the point. That is the point. With good friends, you don't have to struggle, right? Yeah. It's so important to feel confident about your body in clothing.
Just about yourself overall, and your body is part of that, yes.
Speaking of seizures, let's have some sugar. Welcome to Coffee and Cupcakes with Christy B. I'm Christy B, and I've got my little rockin' friend here, Kallah McGuire.
Hi.
And Kallah is probably the most fashionable friend that I have.
Oh, well, thank you.
Which makes perfect sense because she is a stylist at Saks Fifth Avenue and has been a stylist for 16 years?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It belies your youthful look.
My youthful glow.
And I had an experience shopping recently that I was like, I have to talk to Kallah about this. And I think this is perfect fodder for Coffee and Cupcakes. So that's why you're here. Cheers. I mean, you're here because I love you, but you're here because of that too.
So we can talk.
Mm-hmm.
We can talk.
Might get a little bit verklempt. I was a little verklempt when I was shopping recently because, so I am tall.
She's very tall. She's 5'10". Yeah. She's Cindy Crawford height and has her hair too.
And I'm, of an average athletic build, right?
I would say you have a long athletic body.
Okay. Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is that I think that I'm not very large and I'm not very small, right? I feel like I'm kind of, in that mid-range. But I have to say that the most recent time that I went shopping, and quite honestly, every time that I go shopping, I get incredibly frustrated because it seems a lot of times like nothing fits, or I'll pull a size 8 off the rack, which is approximately what I am, and like sometimes they seem like they're like made for like children. Yes. And it gets really frustrating and gets to the point, and a lot of times I just can't even find anything in my size. I can't find anything that fits or looks nice.
Do you hear her? She is one of my best girlfriends, and she is not shopping with me. She is struggling on her own and being frustrated.
It's part of who I am, Kallah. The struggle is part of me.
You don't have to struggle. You don't have to.
That is the point. With good friends, you don't have to struggle, right?
Yeah, there you go.
But that is kind of why you're here. And it's like kind of funny. Like I'm actually getting like a little bit flushed, which might be the chemical peel.
Oh, maybe.
I'm getting flushed because of the chemical peel, but I'm also because I'm getting a little bit emotional about it.
Yeah.
And it really was like, I'm like a grown ass adult, like in this department store and I was just like, I want to get out of here. I'm done. I want to leave. And I was with my mother-in-law and my husband, who are like fabulous shoppers, by the way.
They are. They've taught her a lot about shopping. It's true.
They have. Between you and two of them, I am much better now. But I almost had this childish meltdown, and I just was like, I want to leave. I want to go. And I was like, wow, okay, I'm not the only person that feels this way. I know that for sure.
Tons of people do.
And I also feel like if I'm having this problem, like what about people that have other unique, more unique body shapes and challenges than I do? What must it be like for them to go shopping? And that there has to be a way, there just has to be a better way, which if anybody knows it.
Me.
Da, 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 da. and because it's so important to feel confident about your body in clothing.
Just about yourself overall, and your body is part of that, yes.
And so I feel like that's something you really have a handle on because you've worked with so many different people and different challenges. So I was hoping you could kind of give me some
girlfriend tips.
Some girlfriend tips, some wisdom, maybe make me feel better about myself.
Of course, anytime. I'll fan your ego.
No, but seriously, like how do you know? So dealing with someone like me and, all of the other people that identify with how I feel right now, how do you start? Like, what do you, like, because some of it's psychological.
I like the large majority of it.
Okay, well, talk to me. How do we
all
do-
of you that don't know what Christy looks like in a bathing suit, she's got these gorgeous long legs. She's mostly legs. She's got a short waist, and she's quite busty for your proportions.
Right, yeah.
And so these are the things that it's like, does the shirt fit, or does the dress fit on the top, but, maybe not so, but then it fits on the bottom and vice versa.
Yeah.
And she's very narrow through the hips, and she's got this cute little apple butt.
I do like having you here. Oh, go on.
So for her, if she's going to be looking for pants, they're usually going to be short. If you want
Yes.
something that's going to be full length, you have to specifically get longer pants that are made for long-legged beauties like yourself. You don't want anything that's going to flatten your bust too much, because
Okay.
if you find something, it's like the shoulders, the bust, and the hips are the areas that you want things to fit, and then you alter the rest of the stuff. So the exception to that, hold on, I have one caveat.
Okay.
The one caveat.
I want to recap.
Are jeans. Jeans, I think it's always most important for them to fit in the thighs. And then generally, as ladies, the problem that we have is that it's too big in the waist. Just have it altered. It's very inexpensive. You should always have someone that you really trust for alterations, an incredible tailor to go to. It's maybe $12 to $15, which is not that much.
Really?
Yes, it's very inexpensive. And
I've never had anything altered, ever. Other than what I've done myself.
you are not my friend right now.
I'm taking away your cupcake. She'll stay for the cupcake.
I will.
Okay. Is there more? Because then we need to recap. Because
We
this
will
is...
in just 1 second.
Okay.
Just 1 second. So I just want to, on the tip of the tailor thing. So I think everyone should have a tailor. Even if you only shop at H&M and Target, it doesn't matter. You should have someone that you go to for alterations that does a good job and doesn't charge an arm and a leg. Because I even have things from H&M altered. You can get...
Really?
Yes, because you can get like some really cute little jacket that nobody would guess it's, from something that like
I have
H&M.
one. It was $20. It's
Yeah.
like my favorite jacket.
Exactly. And I have ones like that where I've had, because for my shape, I'm curvier. So I have to have something that goes in at the waist. So sometimes when we go through those phases where boxy cuts are really in style, I can still get stuff, but I just have it tailored in the waist. It's really inexpensive, then it looks perfect.
This is why I'm not buying anything, though, because a lot of the styles that are out there right now don't flatter me as much as I would like to be flattered. So this is my issue, is what you're saying. But so
Yeah.
are you saying that it's okay? And then we have to recap, because I need to be able to remember
Yeah.
this, and we need to put it in the show notes for everyone. But so you're saying it's okay to maybe pay $12 for a shirt and then also pay $12 to have it altered.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. It's like, that's $24. That's like why
That's so cheap.
That's so cheap. But there's like something like stuck in my head that it's like, oh, it's not worth it because it's not a valuable piece of clothing.
Well, it depends on what it is and
Yeah.
how often you're going to wear it. Do you have other options within that? Like, could you go somewhere else and find a jacket that you loved, or do you need to have the waist taken in on this one? Or do you have like a t-shirt like this one that's a little more style based? Like, I've had stuff like this. I have a very hard time personally finding just kind of plain t-shirts that actually fit me.
It's not easy.
I very regularly go in and have the sides carved out and have them taken
On
in
a t-shirt.
Yeah, 'cause-
Something as simple as a t-shirt.
because I'm curvy. I have like
you have a tiny little waist.
I do. I have a little
Yeah.
waist, and I'm not hugely busty, but I've got, like a decent sized bust, a small waist, and I've got hips and a booty. And so if it doesn't go in at the waist on me with my height and my proportions, I just look like a blob. Like in some like broader shouldered women and women that are longer and lankier, they can completely wear that. I just can't. So
Right.
I think it's worth it, because the hunt takes so much of your time and energy. It's frustrating. I would rather just have something that works, that I know I'm happy with, and do a little alteration.
And I think this, for me, is part of like where that psychology of shopping comes in, because it's almost like I would never even consider that that's an option. And there's still a part of me that is resistant to that. And like, without getting like too deep, I mean, I love to go deep and philosophical. That's what coffee and cupcakes is for. But like, for me, part of that is that I didn't grow up with this idea of like, you can have whatever you want.
Oh, I didn't either.
But you are, that is you to a T. I've
know.
actually learned from Kallah, like how to order at a restaurant, because it's like, guess what? You're not limited to what's on the menu. What? You can like ask for whatever you
And
want.
you can send things
You can
back.
send things back.
She never used to send things back. Like,
Mind
they would be
blown.
burned. They would be burned and disgusting. And she'd be like, "Oh, it's okay. No, it's fine. I'll eat this, mister. It's okay." And I'm like, "No, send it. This is a restaurant. You came here for good food. Like, send back the burned sandwich or whatever. Get the chicken that's moist."
this is far beyond just clothing.
Yeah.
You see, like, this is what I mean, though. Like, I get on some level that these concepts are actually important to how we live the rest of our life.
Yeah.
And I know that, you know, sometimes it seems superficial, and I still kind of view these things on a superficial level, but more and more I start to see how it ties into other things. And that's one of the things. I started to see how that tied into other areas of my life, where I was accepting less than what I really wanted, or not realizing there was another way. And so I still have a little bit of this resistance. And it's just crazy to me that after all this time that I've known you and nice things that you've helped me acquire, I still don't have a tailor. So that's
I know.
just
Well, this one's
crazy.
stubborn.
Little bit.
It might be a trait that we have in common.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Sagittarius.
Maybe.
Hello. Hello. So then I guess my next, well, I do want to recap. All right, we have to
Okay.
circle back and recap. So you said that when things, the important things to
You want
think
it to
of.
fit in the shoulders. This is
Shoulders?
for men and women alike, in particular for men and suit coats, because the most expensive alteration is to alter this part of the shoulder because there's so much structure. You can alter the armhole on the bottom. That's not terrible. It's just this top part. It's going to cost you, in 99% of cases, it will cost you more to alter this than it would to just simply get one that fits in the shoulder and tailor the rest.
Okay.
So for my male clients, all I ever tell them is it has to fit in the shoulder. Literally nothing else matters. Fits in the shoulder. We can adjust the cuff. We can have it
Yeah.
taken in, let out in the back. We can have it shortened. Like, doesn't matter. As long as it fits in the shoulder, you're good. The same for women for suit coats. You want to make sure that it fits in the shoulder because that's where it counts. If the shoulder line comes in too high on you or too low, you look either like you're all bunched up or like you're slouchy shouldered.
Yeah.
And that's not cute. So
Not cute.
and also you won't be able to move as easily. So there's that. So you want it to fit there. And for us ladies, we definitely want it to fit in the bust. We don't want to be like having a sports bra effect from something that's not a sports bra.
Correct.
That should not be doing that.
Uniboob. Bad.
It's not cute. Well, you know, if there's any kind of seam, it's going to be pulling on the seam. Was
Yeah.
this the no uniboob?
No uniboob. Is that also like time
It
out?
should be like this. No uniboob.
Keep them separated.
And then keep them separated.
and then the last part was hips, right? Make sure that it fits in the hips because you can always have it adjusted in that way. So
Yeah.
so I'm thinking that we should come up with one of those, you know, like when you were a kid, heads and shoulders, knees and toes.
Oh,
knees and
yeah.
toes.
Well, you're good at jingles. You need
we
to
should
do
come
a
up
jingle.
with a jingle. I mean, there's too much pressure right now.
I know.
But-
It will another episode in the future.
yeah, jingle. Okay, so good. So we recapped that so that
Yeah.
we can remember that. And then I want to talk a little bit about, are there strategies, like shopping strategies that you have with different shopping personalities, right? I know
Different
that's
shopping personalities. So not so much the person and who they are in their life.
I feel
but-
like people have like a shopping personality. Like some people will like only buy something if it's on sale, no matter what. Some people
Well-
won't buy anything that's on sale because they think that if it's on sale, nobody wanted it. So why do they? Like,
Well, I don't really work with people that shop sale. Okay.
excuse me. But for our lovely friends watching, that
So
well,
that's
I don't
an
know.
interesting question.
Maybe it's not a valid question. Maybe I'm just crazy, but we already know that that's true. So
I'm
maybe
gonna make you sing the Lulu jingle right now
to prove how crazy I am.
in the best way.
Okay, so then maybe there's not shopping, like, you know,
I
personalities.
mean, there are shopping personalities. Absolutely, there are people that love sales and love digging. There are people that hate sales and don't want anything to do with it. They think it's disgusting. They want everything that's like the latest, greatest, newest. There are people that will only shop, you know, certain times of the year. There are people that shop a few times a week, literally.
So what are the best, like, I'm just wondering, what are the best strategies for people to employ? Let's go like this. The best strategies for people like myself that are resistant to shopping, that kind of get emotional around shopping. And I feel like there's a lot of women that don't shop. They avoid getting things.
There are even men like that, and
Yeah.
not so much the emotional aspect, but more that they just hate having to do it and don't want to deal with it.
So if they can't hire you, because obviously that's the best route to go. We have established that.
Yes.
Definitively. But if they can't do that, what would be their best strategy and approach to start acquiring things that they feel really confident in?
Go through your closet and look at what you currently have. Literally get rid of everything that you are not wearing. If you haven't worn it in the last year, barring certain special occasion things, get rid of it. You're not going to wear it.
She's not joking either. Like, she
Yeah.
literally means everything.
Yeah.
I like squirreled things away in the corner of my closet, I think. And I was like, I can't ever wear these around Kallah because she'll be upset that I kept them. Okay. I didn't mean to interrupt, but continue.
It tends to be a good rule of thumb. If you haven't worn it in a year and it's not a special occasion thing, you're probably never going to wear it again. I know some people are like, oh, I might lose this weight or that weight. Sure. You can make a little section of your closet that's for when you lose X amount of weight, you can, keep that to the side, but it shouldn't be mixed in with your everyday stuff. Like, the stuff that's most easily accessible to you should be the things you're actually wearing. And if you think about what your lifestyle is, what you're doing in your life, how you're spending your time, who you're spending your time with, how you want to be perceived, and if it all applies to you, if it at all applies to you,
I knew what you meant.
What is your personal brand? So some people, like, I have a personal brand, Christy has a personal brand. And so when we go out and people meet us, depending on the circumstances, we need to look a certain way to fit in with our brand. That may or may not be you. So you take all this into account, and you know how much you travel, where you go, the climate of where you live, all these kinds of things. And you have this, understanding of what's in your closet and what is missing. And you always want to build on the pieces that you love, not your crappy pieces, but
Don't build on crap.
don't build on crap.
I'm just going to get you more crap. A big old pile of shit in your closet.
It's true.
Couldn't help myself. Okay.
She's quippy.
She's something.
So it's good stuff. So you go through and you want to make a list that builds on your best, most flattering pieces. So let's say you've got a skirt that you don't have any tops to go with, or you've only got one top to go with it, or you don't have any shoes to go with it, or for gentlemen, maybe you don't have a great suit. Because regardless of what you do in your life, it's pretty rare. I don't actually know that I've ever met anyone in all my 16 years that doesn't need at least one suit. And you just need to have a really great one. So those few occasions when you do use them, you've got something fantastic you can go to. Also, a lot of men don't have great shoes, don't have, if they like accessories, it might be a watch, might be a bracelet, might be a ring. To get something that's just kind of simple and timeless, you just basically want to build on the best pieces, build for your lifestyle, for your taste, how you want to be perceived, your own personal brand. And then you can go out and decide. If you don't know what brands you like, I would say go to larger stores. Like,
Right.
We're here in California, so that would be like Bloomingdale's or even Macy's.
You can try a lot of different things.
You can go to bigger stores
Yeah.
that have a number of different brands, or you can find a few small local boutiques where you can go in and actually get help.
Oh,
with
that's a
people
good
addressing
idea,
you.
too.
And a
Right.
boutique isn't always expensive if you're concerned about budget. It just depends on which one it is.
It's a very good
You
point.
can ask them to help you. You could bring inspiration pictures if you're that type of person. Some people are. They're even men will tell me, "Oh, I like House from the Doctor House from the show House. I liked his kind of disheveled yet gentlemanly look." It's like usually.
I love that was their example.
I know, but it's true. People do. So like, even if you're not a big celebrity person or if you're not a big style person, usually you've seen someone that's in the public eye that has some kind of a style where you're kind of like, I like that. Or maybe a character on a show you watch.
Right.
So that's another reference that you can give to people going in saying, oh, I like, House and the way he looked. And do you have anything that's sort of like that to give people an idea of where to start from?
So I think my biggest takeaway from that I'm going to remember is to build on your best pieces. I mean, going back to the shit again. I always sort of circle back to that kind of, okay. No, but that's a really great point, because I think anyone can go into their closet right now and pick out, even if it's 2 to 5 items that you love, that you feel really good in. And I think most people probably would agree, but I don't have an outfit I can make out of this. I love this skirt, but I never know what to wear with it.
Yeah.
I've found myself in that situation many times. And honestly, until now, it's hearing you say it, it's never occurred to me that maybe I should make a list of my 5 most kick-ass pieces in my wardrobe and then keep that with me when I go shopping and fill in the blanks, basically.
Yeah, you should have a running, I mean,
Never
if you're
thought
going to
about
do this on your own and be super organized about it, you should have a running list of everything that you need. So if you have time to walk in somewhere in between, whatever you're doing that day, or you go in for a big sale or something like that, you have an idea of what you're actually looking for, which is very helpful.
So this is, I think, the best two things that have come out of this episode today, aside from just you being here and being my angel. She's like a bright, like shiny angel. Is that A of all, get a freaking tailor now.
Yeah.
And B of all, make that's A. First of all, second.
I like A of all.
I like
and
A
B
of
of
all and B of all. You
Yeah.
know what? I make up my own rules.
Yeah.
And B of all, make a list of your favorite things in your closet right now, and then build on fleshing out those outfits. I love that. I feel like that's something that even I can do. And like, I'm excited about it instead of like terrified, huddled in the corner, snot running down my face. I can't. Where's Kallah? I can't even find my phone. That's how I look when I'm dealing with this stuff. Seizure victim or something. Well, on that note, speaking of seizures, let's have some sugar. We're gonna have our cupcakes now. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here for coffee and cupcakes and hanging out with Christy B and Kallah. And we will see you next time.